Good day, everybody. All right, first things first, let's talk about Google My Business. I know that I've been talking about Bing a lot lately and why you should, why it's super important for you to integrate that into your business if you haven't already. Now, if you're here local in Santa Clarita Valley, elsewhere in Southern California, anywhere in the United States, even the world, I would suggest, you might want to make sure that these listings are up to date. Now, I know that companies are charging thousands of dollars to do this front end work for you, but if you have somebody that works for you, somebody wants to just jump into it, it's not that difficult to do, and you can get some really good instructions. I did put up a long blog post at Santa Clarita Artificial Intelligence.com. Yes, it's not just Santa Clarita, but that's where I happen to be. So if you need to hunt me down, you'll know where to find me. But that's where you can go. You can find out the best optimization ways to put this together. And of course, the large language models, different types of artificial intelligence, of course, will make that much easier for you. But I say this because it's not only important to have it set up properly, proper keywords, proper business types, all the way through naming your business. Of course, you'll go with what its name is, but going through the whole process and filling out the information about your business. When you get into holidays, multiple times a year, I would suggest just as important as posting almost daily to the platform is also going to be updating your hours, paying attention to your page. If you just post updates, that's probably better than 99% of the businesses out there. But if you also go in and tweak some of the settings, you'll be doing better than almost everybody out there, and especially your competition. What do I mean? As we get into holidays here, we're 10th of December, 2025. Because we're at this time, what do we? Well, we got Christmas coming up. We got New Year's coming up. Then we got Valentine's Day. Is that a holiday? Well, whatever. Anyway, so we have these things coming up. If optimally, if we were to go back in time somewhere around end of September, beginning of October, that would have probably been a wonderful time to do what I'm telling you now. And I did a post on that back then as well. You want to get into your Google My Business listing, your Bing My Business listing, those listings. If you don't have them, set them up. They're free. Don't cost you anything. Little word of advice, caution, some warning. When you go and you're trying to find the link to click on to be able to get to the page to put your business in there, it's still kind of antiquated like that. You definitely want to make sure you're going to the right place. I noticed on Google, not hard to find, usually at the top. Investigate the URL as you're looking for it. Lots of spam, lots of junk, lots of AI slop is being thrown around out there. So you got to make sure. If you're going to Bing, a little bit different animal, when you go and you try to find that, you're going to end up getting a lot more cannon fodder in between the one you want to click on and all the nonsense. There's going to be a lot of nonsense up at the top. And some of the nonsense you're going to recognize. These are major review websites. You're going to see those popping up first. People paying for placement. Just be wary. You start going on there, clicking around, giving up your business information. God forbid there's some kind of hack site or some kind of going to screw you over website. You click on there, you enter some personal information about your business, then it's tough. Make sure you're going to the right place. Now, you just verify it with the URL. You can even take the URL and go into your favorite large language model. Hopefully that still works, and then do the inquiry. Is this the right link? And especially before you start clicking through. Now, of course, you're going to see secure websites. Depending on what kind of browser you're using, they're going to be protected, maybe with a small little lock indicator. And it should let you push through, but whenever you start putting your stuff out there, just be wary. When you get on these pages, you have your listings put on these sites. You want to find out what that share link is. That's super important as well. That's what you're going to want to create content around. That's that GEO, or that geographical engine optimization. So when you do content, when you do blog posts, you, me, whoever, if you hire me to do it, have an employee that does it. You want to make sure that it's tied in with that GEO tag. So it's going to see that you're a real reputable business. See, not anybody could just go to Google. Back in the day, if you wanted to get on Google My Business, the level wasn't difficult to achieve. You could get there pretty easily. Now, there's a few little steps a business has to take to verify they're really true. And part of that is going to be using that GEO, using your phone, depending on how many people happen to be registered at your business. Now, if you're a real estate agent, and there's 50 people in your office, or 100 or 200 or whatever it is, and everybody's registered Google My Business, At that real estate brokerage, yeah, you're gonna end up getting a little bit more flack when you try to register you as an independent salesperson, yes. Part of a brokerage, yes. But when you start to register on there, you're going to get a little pushback. So you're going to have to jump through a couple more hoops. You might be required to get something from your broker, some kind of an insurance policy potentially. Or maybe you're going to be required to film it, walk in from the street, inside, and so on, all the way through, showing you have permissions, where your desk is. Oh, look, Connor with Honor. Oh, it's got to be the right place. All that. So it'll verify that and it'll tie it in with that GEO tag from your phone. You just want to have that because whenever you publish content, you might as well throw it in. It's going to solve that question of realtor near me, plumber near me, beautician near me, got to get my feet manicured near me, whatever it may be. You'll fall into that line if you use that geo tag, that synchronicity. Synchronicity, is that even right? All right. So that's part of it. Then I talked about updates. Yeah, you want to do these updates. You're going to want to do them frequently with your business. Doesn't have to be long, not a lot of pizzazz. In fact, what's cool about Google postings or Google business updates, including Bing, you don't need a lot of junk in there. It doesn't require a lot. You can have an image, yes. Images now, it's nowhere near when we used to get letters from the Getty Museum or the Getty Images. We're not using images properly, but now you can have Nano Banana that's on Gemini, Google, just lovely. It'll make you whatever image you want. Even take one of you and morph you into some kind of a unicorn eating cotton candy devouring machine. Then you can post that up there on your Google page. Now, of course, the image should probably have some kind of semblance as to what you're writing, some kind of comparison so that you don't go off the rails too much, but having the image is good. Not a lot of pizzang in the article either. You don't need a whole bunch of stuff. If you start putting a lot of pizzang in there, talking about how great you are, Connor, best on the planet, hoorah, can't live without him, that sort of thing, it's probably going to be against their terms of service. That's a massive document. So make sure you're posting up the right content. You do it a couple times, you'll see. And if you start posting all of a sudden out of nowhere, it might get a little weird, right? On the other end of it, same thing with Yelp, right? If you get a whole bunch of reviews, gone dormant for a long time, all of a sudden they're going to think you're gating, you're soliciting for comments or soliciting for reviews, which is not within the rules. So you shouldn't do that. Same thing if you start posting all of a sudden from never posting at all, you might have to do a little bit more upkeep, explaining how these are part of your process. This is maybe something you're starting to do more often. After a while, it's going to get used to it. Then the stuff that you post is going to be less paid attention to by the algorithm or this fancy program they have in place to monitor. God, every time I say that, it reminds me of Tron. So that's the case. You want to keep that updated. You want to make sure it's optimized. You want to make sure it's filled out right. And then you want to keep up with it. If you need any more information, if you have a business, want me to crawl through it, looking at it with an AI type audit, more than happy, that's free. You can reach out to me at Santa Clarita artificialintelligence.com. I don't care if you're in Albuquerque or Miami-Dade, doesn't matter. Just hit me up. Happy to look at it, and I'll be able to wrap my mind around your geographical location and, of course, give you best advice. I'm Connor with Honor. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.